And if I blow, no, it's been corrosive, strutting down this muddy road, made more friends than foes.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, comrades, friends, people I don't even like, perhaps people who don't like me. So one day Donald Trump calls up Governor Howard Wells in Texas and goes, "Hey buddy, I want you guys to keep the house. But if you want to keep the house, I need you to steal 5 seats." Governor Howard Wells goes, "Sir, let me just pull my tongue out of your butt for 5 minutes. I'm going to go get that done for you." So when Governor Howard Wells goes, excuse me, he gets 5 seats for the Mandarin Mussolini. I think that's what they say. Mandarin Mussolini. Get it from that guy. They get it for that guy. So in California, then in turn goes, all right, we're going to make a law, prop some or other, where we effectively do the same thing. We will shut out votes and shut out Republican votes and get more seats. All the while, Americans are ultimately getting screwed with this race to the bottom. And all because America can't seem to grapple with its own racism. I have friends and family that are literally telling me that this is cap. That, of course, you can vote. But they're deliberately choosing to leave out the nuance as to why this is a huge problem. So we're going to start with the history of the issue.
How many people think they understand what racism is? Show of hands. Come on, you think you know. I'm not suggesting I know. I just have a couple of definitions that kind of came to me as I thought about it. How many people think there are white racists? That there are white racists out there? How many think there are black racists out there? Okay. Now, this is an interesting thing because this becomes important as we begin to define concepts. Now, I do that. I usually define concepts all the way. But one of the things that I do is I try to help people get a picture of what I mean by racism. So tell me how it is. First category is white racism, then we'll deal with black racism. So white racism. Tell me the ways in which white racism adversely impacts the lives of black people. Just what are the ways that white racism can adversely impact the lives of black people as a group? What are some of those ways? I'm sorry? Power, but how is that defined specifically? Education, okay. I'm sorry? Economically, employment. What else? Housing, what else? Policing. Why are we here today? Healthcare, okay. Now, we could actually kind of grow that list. Now we're going to move over to black racism.
It's a big-ass list.
Tell me the ways in which black racism adversely impacts the lives of white people as an entire group. Thank you. The reason why you become silent is one that always comes up, and that's fear. White people are afraid of black people. They are afraid of us. And it's a very interesting thing because black people know it. We know white people are afraid. But you have to start getting into the psychology. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? But it's an interesting dynamic. Now, also you see the difference in what racism is, do you not? Racism implies you have not just prejudice, but the power to do something with that prejudice. Now, I don't like you, not only that, but I'm going to control whether you can get, I may say I hate you. I hate white people. I hate them. It's not going to change you getting that, loan when you go to the bank. I can hate you all the way to the bank. Not going to change. Do you see the difference?
And this is what this is what I always end up telling people who I argue with about racism, reverse racism, or whether or not black people can be racist. It's always about power, right? Whether or not you have the power with your prejudice to do something against me, albeit big or small. something as simple as uh blocking my trash, or as intense as you calling my job trying to get me fired, or you having the ability to create a system in which I never get a better job. It's insane.
Whereas white racism says, not only do I not like you, but I'm going to change the impact of where you can live. I'm going to determine with that racism where your powers are. You following me? And I'm talking about as a group, not an individual, because people said, I remember when my uncle didn't. I'm not talking about your uncle. I'm talking about the whole group. I'm not talking about an incident. That's a difference. But white people are afraid. So let's get into how this.
I brought that up because I wanted to acknowledge the ways in which white people are using their power against black people with this gerrymandering issue. People are trying to lie over and over and over again and tell you that what you're seeing with your eyeballs is not true. But we all are watching in 4K as they push Justin Jefferson out of the Tennessee state capitol. They are only shrinking black districts that are Democrat because they're saying it's partisan. They're Democrats. This only happens with Democrats. However, they're leaving the white communities alone and not gerrymandering those. See what I'm saying? Cappington. It's bullshit. So Mike Johnson has a press conference because, he needs something to do with his time because he's fucking completely useless and doesn't do anything for anybody and probably couldn't if he really freaking tried. Let's go ahead and hear what this loser has to say.
Real quick word on the primary results last night. That's the big political news, of course. Last night, in a nutshell, I talked with the president late last night after everything all the dust was settling over all the elections.
Mike is ultimately going to try and talk about and try to salvage the fact that progressives ran the fucking table last week.
We talked about how his endorsement is the most powerful in the history of politics. I mean, anywhere in the world. I think it's just a phenomenon. I wasn't involved in the Kentucky primary, Thomas Massey's primary. The leadership team wasn't because he's an incumbent. But the president certainly made his opinion known, and I'm not surprised by the results there. The president knows what's at stake in this fall's elections, and he and I need conservative patriots here ready to help us continue saving America. And that's why we're working hand in hand to defend and grow this House Republican majority. I'm convinced we're going to do that. I'm thrilled about 3 more of our endorsed candidates who are going to do just that. They advanced last night: Ralph Alvarado in Kentucky, Houston Gaines, and Jim Kingston in the state of Georgia. All 3 of those are going to be great members next year as we defend and grow this majority. And at the same time, this is what's really important for everybody to be paying attention to. There's an effect happening around the country, and y'all have heard me summarize it this way. The best way to describe it, in short summary, is that there are many Mamdanis popping up all around the country running for Congress as Marxist, openly as socialist Marxist. And it's a race to the far, far, far left. And as we say all the time, this is not our father's Democratic.
So 2 things. 1, that's a good thing. 2, the people who are in that city voted for him. Stop acting like this is an issue that you have to solve. You're losing because you don't have the policy, you don't have the energy, you don't have the young vote unless you're talking about, unless you're entertaining them with racism. This is happening, whether Republicans or Democrats like it or not. You would think Democrats be sending her boatloads of money.
Party. This group has been taken over. I mean, the Democratic Party's been totally taken over by the far left.
Not yet,
and
but it's
Jeffries
coming.
And the team here can't do anything about it. In fact,
Nope.
Republicans are the only ones that can stop them from destroying our country, and that's why we must and we will win. But they continue to nominate some extremely radical candidates last night. Even people, there's a candidate in Pennsylvania stolen from his own family, and he won the primary on the Democrat side. They're going to lose these swing districts. And in summary, we'll go to questions, but in summary, this is what it boils down to. You heard the leaders say it. You've heard all of us say this over and over and over. This is a contrast election, okay? And at the end of the day, the American people have to just look at this. It's contrast between common sense and crazy. We're going to ask the people. I mean, as all of our candidates and our incumbents are out in the field, they're just ask the questions. Do you want to keep the team in charge who secured the border, got dangerous criminal illegal aliens out of your communities and brought down crime, that got American energy dominance going again, that returned us to peace through strength, that has put all the conditions in the economy to make your life better and bring down the cost of living and higher paychecks and higher tax refunds, and got men out of women's sports and little girls' locker rooms and into trans surgeries on minors? Do you want to keep that team, that party in charge of Washington? Or do you want to turn it over to the people that want to do the opposite of all those things I just described? It's a serious contrast. It's a serious chasm, a widening chasm between the two parties.
So some thoughts on that. Personally, he knows what's coming. He's trying to scare the shit out of Republicans and inform them, hey, Democrats are losing ground to progressives, and it's getting kind of scary because they want to give people health care, guys. Okay? Health care is coming. They want to make sure that children don't have to starve, and we want to increase SNAP benefits for parents, make sure that people have child care, universal child care all over the darn place. This is crazy. We got to do something about this. Fucking clown. He's 100% right. He's 100% right in that Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer can't do anything to stop the progressive movement from infiltrating their team. They might as well just roll over and retire. That's what we expect them to do. That's what I expect them to do. I don't expect them to stay at all. They won't have a home. Ultimately, we had to sit through Mike Johnson, I guess, giving a shout out to the 3 members of Congress, the new ones that got past the post and won their election, but he's terrified. There's nothing about this interview that I think anybody actually needed. So, there's that. We're going to end on the number one OG, triple OG, triple Elie Mystal.
By the white right. The year after the Voting Rights Act, the case did go to the Supreme Court challenging the constitutionalities. The state of South Carolina had brought a lawsuit right away. Like, how dare you allow black people to vote? And that was, the Supreme Court said, nope, it's legal, and it was constitutional. So then they regrouped it. Took time.
The year before, in 1964, the year before the Voting Rights Act was passed, there were 4 black people in Congress, right? 4. The year after, the 1968, so the congressional election kind of after the Voting Rights Act has been passed and is legal and is upheld, there were 9 black people in Congress. So, like, you literally doubled the amount of black representation in Congress in a cycle after the passage of the Voting Rights Act. And today, there are 67 black members of Congress. That's the highest in American history. And there are 56 Latino Americans in Congress. That's the highest in American history. The other thing that the Voting Rights Act did, and a lot of people don't think of it because they think of it as a purely racial act, but it also opened up the aperture for women to vote, especially black women and Hispanic women, right? So before the Voting Rights Act, the 19th Amendment meant nothing for black women. The 19th Amendment was some white feminism that they were on, that even the people the white suffragettes who were fighting for it weren't really fighting for the rights of black women to vote. But the Voting Rights Act changed then. Changed the ability for women to represent themselves in Congress as well. Before the Voting Rights Act, 13 women in Congress. Today, 154. This has been the most important and the most successful piece of legislation in American history, and that's why they hate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can see why they don't want it anymore.
Because it works. Because it actually works. It actually gives political power to non-white, non-cis hetero males, and that's why they hate it. And that's why they've destroyed it.
So, I mean, Ellie, is it overly simplistic to say that the goal of the white right on the Supreme Court and also in the GOP is the idea of taking us back to a time where white, male, Christian power was unchallenged? Look
at the maps, Dean. Look at them. I mean, we were talking offline about the New York Times projection maps in the wake of this decision. Look at what the people who are in favor of this decision immediately want to do. The first thing they want to do is go through every majority minority district in the South and take it away.
So excellent analysis by many, excellent analysis by Elie Mystal, breaking down in the most clear terms why it's extremely important that we push the Democrats as hard as we possibly can to change what is going on right now, pack the court, put term limits on these justices, ultimately fight until we get elected and get a majority in Congress. But then after that, we make Trump a lame duck president and we keep it pushing until we can get somebody in there at 2028. In the meantime, other people like progressives like myself and my cohort, we should continue to do the things that we are doing so that we are ready to join a much larger fold. All the racism has led to these people feeling like they can justify gerrymandering. And all this gerrymandering has led to them having to rewrite all these districts and effectively take away the voice and the representation of the people in a lot of people in these southern states. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen, and may the good Lord bless your bones, as the old folks used to say. I'm DJ Pinhead. Please hit like, subscribe, all the things. Leave a comment, most of all. I appreciate it. It helps to get the message out there. One love.
And if I blow, no, it's been corrosive, strutting down this muddy road, made more friends than foes. Did so many shows, said yes to a lot of them. Few weeks later, I don't hear peep out of them. You gotta stay focused on goals, don't ever switch up, keep applying.